I cannot believe I went and just did that. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Andy, and this week I'm talking to you about my recent trip to the Maldives, more specifically down in the deep south at a place called Fumala. Now this place, next level, all about tiger sharks, and from what they told me down there, it is considered the Galapagos of the Indian Ocean. Why this place is so special is because you have this insane aggregation of tiger sharks in the harbour. Now the reason they're there is for the last 600 years, the fishermen of that island, Fumala, have been collecting their fish, mostly tuna, taking it back to the shore, gutting it, filleting it, using what they need to eat and to sell and do whatever they're doing with. And the heads, they would just toss back into the harbour. Now from them tossing all these heads back into the harbour and all the frames and everything, it's created a behavioural change 600 years ago for the sharks to be coming in and feeding and knowing that there's a steady source of food being dropped into the water in that harbour. About 15 years ago, there was a diver there called Lonu, who we were lucky enough to actually go and dive with. He decided, well, hang on a second, why don't we open up this harbour to tourism, and instead of just dumping them in the water, take them down with divers and enjoy the sharks as they swim around looking for these tuna heads. And so it's this really unique blend that they've discovered over there, is because they can dive with the sharks. The sharks are never hand-fed, ever, which is incredible. So they're not looking at people for food. They'll come up to you out of curiosity, but they're not looking at you for food, which is incredible to see. Fishermen have also found that by protecting these sharks, the fish stocks in that area have also increased and are generating more fish for the fishermen. So it's this beautiful network of interconnectedness and symbiosis between the sharks and the people, which is just phenomenal. And so I was lucky enough to actually go down with the Pressure Project and Adam, and we actually got to free dive with these tiger sharks, which is something that only got introduced only a few years ago. My trip basically started on Heron Island, where I had to leave from work and my home over to Gladstone by a ferry, then a flight from Gladstone to Brisbane, Brisbane to Singapore, Singapore to Mali, and then finally Mali to Fumala. And Fumala is a tiny little island. It's about 5 kilometers long. I think it's only about a kilometer wide, maybe less. It's basically its own little pinnacle where you go a few hundred meters off the island itself and you're in 3,000 meters of water. So it's just this massive, pretty much pillar underwater, which as a result, because there's so much cold nutrient water at the bottom of it, a lot of that comes up to the surface, which creates this very unique ecosystem where you can get anything and everything. But we had our tiger fix like you've never had before. It was insane. So the diving location itself is in the harbour, where you have all the boats congregating. You have a little break wall, and then just past the break wall you have this ledge. So at the top of the ledge it was about, I think it was 8 meters, 10 meters, and then it sloped off to a point where it was about 16, 17, and then just dropped down to 50 plus meters and just went crazy deep after that. And just in front of this ledge, or just on this ledge, is where all the tiger shark action happened, right in the mouth of the channel. And being in Australia, where the laws are so tough to work with sometimes, and it is for safety and all that sort of stuff, but just going to a different country where the laws are so relaxed and different, it was really weird to see divers underwater, and then you've got boats just going straight over the top of their bubbles. We even had the ferry, the Fumala ferry, come in, and that was going like 20 knots straight over the top of divers. Crazy to see, and we're like right in the water and boats are buzzing past us, and dodging the boats was actually more dangerous than the actual sharks in the water, which is, yeah, crazy. So as you get in there, we pretty much just pulled straight out of the harbour, and every operator that is in that area, including the liveaboards, all have a time slot of when they can actually go into the water at the mouth of the harbour. So whenever it was our spot, we'd just get in there. There would already be divers there. So we would jump in the water, and then once you're in the water, those divers pretty much moved out and we moved in, and we got to enjoy the sharks ourselves without having anyone else around in the water. So it was really cool to see how well this was run, considering the relaxed nature of the people on the island. And it was just, yeah, such a different experience having everyone working so seamlessly together for the one common goal of protecting these sharks. It was really beautiful to see, and Australia, you could definitely learn from this island by far. Actually, the whole world can, really. The first time we got in the water was absolutely just, yeah, next level. Now, I've been with tiger sharks at Heron and Lady Elliot before, but it's been like fleeting glimpses. You see them off in the distance. I've had a couple close encounters where they've literally come right at me, almost hit me, and then gone away. So to be in Fumala, where the sharks are big, because all the ones I've dealt with have been like maybe 2.5 meters, so not very big sharks. Still enough, like still big enough, but not 3 meters that we were getting at this harbour. And so our first experience with these sharks, I didn't take a camera because they recommended not to, and I'm so glad I didn't actually take a camera. We got in the water and we're on the edge, and you can see the drop off, and we're right next to the harbour where all the sharks come up. And then next thing you know, there's these two massive tiger sharks just come up either side of our group and just start circling us, like very briefly. I don't want to say a semicircle, and then just came straight at the guides on either side, really checking us out, going like, whoop, who are you guys? What are you guys up to? What's going on here? Seeing that for the first time, I was a bit like, oh Jesus, like big shark, someone deal with it. Very different to actually experience that the way it is there. And they just hang around, they just go up and down and circle around the place, and oh, it's phenomenal. So we spent a good hour in the water with these sharks and just really got to dive down with them and really learn their presence and behavior and how we can actually interact with them. And the next session, it was just cameras on and just film as much as possible. And it was just the most insane thing you've ever experienced. And I if you ever get the opportunity, make sure you go and experience this. And what was really cool and very interesting and really well run that I thought about this whole interaction with the sharks is we had 3 guides in the water. So these 3 guys, they would all have a bell on them. And so every time a shark was spotted, they would ring the bell. And so then when you're diving down with the sharks, if there was a shark behind you, they'd ring the bell. And so it got very nerve-wracking at times when you're down there filming a shark. Next thing you know, it's like ding, 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 ding. And you're like, God damn it, there's 2 sharks behind me, but I'm filming this one. Like, what do I do? Do I turn? Do I not? And for me, I've been taught always, you have a shark, eyes on it. Stand your ground and the shark will move away and do its own thing. So to be down there filming a shark and then having someone go ding, 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 and knowing there's a shark behind you, it was really like, oh damn, like what do I do, what do I do? And it really went against a few things that I've been taught. And what was also really nice about this experience is that when they did ring the bell, if there was a shark coming up behind you and you were focused on a shark, the guides would actually dive down behind you and make sure this shark didn't come at you, and if they absolutely had to, they would redirect the shark. And thankfully for us, we didn't have to redirect any sharks on our trip, which just goes to show the beautiful interactions that we got to have with these sharks and not being put into a position at all to need to touch the animals or anything like that. So it was really, really amazing to see. Now, being underwater with these sharks was like a completely different experience that I've ever experienced in my entire life. As you go down, you are so focused on the sharks and the sharks around you and just the environment and everything that's going on that no matter how hard you want to think about something else, you can't. You have to be so focused in the moment of being with that shark or shark that your mind just goes blank and you just and for me, like I was just in absolute awe of these animals. And to have 3, 4, I think the most I had was 8 at one time around me whilst I'm underwater, it was really interesting because with all that clutter out of your mind and being so focused and so present, I've never felt so at peace in my entire life. And then at the same time, that improved my diving abilities by being so clear-headed and so focused and distracted as well, I'd say. And so my diving went from being like not too bad to doing over a minute and a half without even getting the urge to breathe, and just being so relaxed even at the end of that dive where it was as if I was down there for 10 seconds. So it was really, really incredible to experience that feeling of pure peace, joy, and awe of these animals, and to experience that for a whole week. It completely changed my entire life and perspective on everything. And so now, like, coming back, I've had so many changes just as a result of this one experience. Absolutely phenomenal. I still can't believe how much of an effect that actually had on me. And I remember talking about it at the end of the trip, just how at peace it's felt to be in the water with those sharks. And honestly, I cannot wait to jump in and do that again. So I do recommend for anyone to make sure, if you can go and experience this, go and experience it for yourself. Guarantee you will not regret this experience. To have such clean water, to have such beautiful sharks and such beautiful interactions. It just goes to show that when things are done in the right way, how incredible this planet is, and how incredible it is that we can enjoy all these beautiful things around us without having to be in mass danger and being scared by the media and portraying sharks as the devil, because really they're not. They're really, really incredible, beautiful animals. That has been my trip recently to Fumala, and I'd love to see what you guys think about all the interactions, so put them into the comments below. And until next time, peace.